How's it going, everybody? It's Warren, and welcome back to my channel, The Cosmic Wonder, where we talk about all things Marvel and everything relating to the MCU. And today is a great day because we have some Spider-Man 3 news. Right now, Spider-Man 3 is kind of a mystery. Marvel Studios hasn't really told us much, and Tom Holland hasn't spoiled anything yet. It was recently announced that Spider-Man 3 did get pushed back a month, from November to December, now having a Christmas release date, which will in fact help the movie make at least $1 billion, but we don't really know too much about the film as far as the plot is concerned and who's going to be in it. There's plenty of speculation over the Sinister Six, there's speculation over Kraven the Hunter, and of course everybody would just love for Venom to appear in Spider-Man 3 as well. But we really don't know the plot, we just know that Spider-Man is going to be on the run. But today we have a little bit of news as an actor has been confirmed to be returning to Spider-Man 3, and we'll talk about it in this video. But first, if you're new, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the MCU news, and so you can enter my giveaway for a chance to win a Scarlet Witch Funko Pop. All you have to do to enter is subscribe, like the video, leave a comment down below, and I'm picking a winner on Monday. So right now, as it stands, very few characters have been confirmed to be returning to Spider-Man 3. We know that Tom Holland, of course, is returning as Peter Parker, and J. Jonah Jameson has spoke recently about his return as well. And then, of course, Zendaya will be returning as MJ, but besides that, not much is really known. But today, in an exclusive report from Deadline.com, they have revealed that Tony Revolori, who plays Flash Thompson in Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home, will be returning for the third film. Now, Flash has had a pretty interesting story arc in Spider-Man Homecoming and then in Far From Home, and it's going to be even more interesting in Spider-Man 3. Of course, he was Peter Parker's bully in Homecoming and kind of in Far From Home as well, but in Far From Home we saw him get an admiration for Spider-Man. And now he knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Peter Parker, the kid that he used to pick on, is his idol. So we know that Peter Parker is going to be on the run in Spider-Man 3, and perhaps Flash is even going to be willing to help him in the movie as well. Perhaps Flash will even come to respect Peter Parker for being Spider-Man and actually want to help him and end up helping him. Now, something pretty interesting to note about Flash Thompson that some people may not know is that in the comics he actually goes on to become Agent Venom. In the comics, Flash and Peter actually have a pretty good developing story arc. They start off just as we see them in Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home. Flash picks on Peter ruthlessly, but over time, he actually finds out that he is Spider-Man and he begins to respect him, and the two of them actually become very close. Flash would then go on to join the army after college, and unfortunately he would end up losing both of his legs in war. But he would kind of get his legs back by bonding with the Venom symbiote. Then he would go on to become Agent Venom, one of the only characters to go on and use the Venom symbiote to do good, and actually use the symbiote to fight evil. Agent Venom works for the US military and is one of the coolest versions of Venom that we see in the comics. But as far as Flash Thompson goes in the MCU, it's kind of different. In the comics, Flash is a big jock who's a star in the high school football team. And we don't exactly see that with Flash Thompson in the MCU. But that doesn't mean that Marvel wouldn't take the opportunity to at least briefly bond him with the Venom symbiote at some point in time. And seeing as how Flash is basically in love with Spider-Man and could take the opportunity of becoming like him by bonding with the symbiote, it is something that we could briefly see in the MCU. Now, it's not something that they would take from Tom Hardy, but we know that there are other symbiotes out there. And now that the Venomverse with Sony is kind of bonding with the MCU, anything is pretty much possible at this point in time, because Flash Thompson is being brought back for a pretty specific purpose. Whether that's just simply to be a friend to Peter Parker, or whether or not he's going to end up helping Spider-Man and Peter in some way, shape, or form, we'll have to wait and see. But in the meantime, this does reveal that at some point in time he will be in contact with his friends, whether that's in the beginning, in the middle to ask for some help, or at the end he finally clears his name and is able to go back to living a normal life and hang out with his friends. If Marvel is playing nice with Sony right now, it would be a missed opportunity to not have Agent Venom at least make a tiny cameo at some point in time in the MCU. And with Flash Thompson returning in Spider-Man 3, it could be possible, but let me know what you think his role is going to be in Spider-Man 3. Leave your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest MCU news. For live updates, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.